Hello and welcome to another Tuesday night. This is the Talking Parra League Tuesday night live show. Once again, thanks to our sponsors. Time for a chat at ZMS Trophies, Bay Vista, Eurowork, Tate Sports Card, Non-Stop Landscapes, Wink Media, X-Fisery, Spot On Hose and Fittings, Tony Mustafa, Mortgage Choice, JD's Buyers Agent and Riverside Brewing Co. And of course, Parra Leagues. Well, it is another massive show, another Tuesday night, and disappointingly after another loss, people are already sharing away. I can't remember what we're up to. I think we're up to back to $50. That $100 voucher went off. I'm going to look at Jez. Jez is nodding. Yep, that $100 voucher went off a couple of weeks ago. We did a jersey last week. So it is back to $50 this week. So share away. You do have to be here to claim at the end. You have 30 seconds. Look, we're going to do a special start tonight. We've got a little bit of a challenge. Now, I'll bring him in because this is why we've got a bit of a challenge. He's not there. We'll add him. There you go. Hayden, welcome. Now, we're going to do something special tonight because, look, Hayden's a bit of a fussy eater for those who don't know. I think Jez is about to put the photo up, and we took him into the Parramatta Leagues Club suite on the game on Sunday, and the end result was him whinging like a little bitch, and we had to get him a kids tender meal. So he had some chicken tenders with some chips with like all the other 4-year-olds in there. So he's been thrown under the bus here. So thanks to one of the followers of our page, I've got a mate who has a company, and we've got some of Dad's jerky. So this is the jerk off, and we are going to see who can last the longest here. So what this means is we'll get our jerky ready. We're going to go piece for piece. Now, it is hot, okay? So no one can deny it is hot. We'll take the lid off and we'll get into it. So it's piece for piece to start. Who taps out first? You ready, Hayden? Get your piece in your mouth. Off we go. All right. Sorry for the chewing sounds. Hayden's liking it.
Yeah.
He's nodding. You going to go again?
Yeah, it's got a barcode for reorder. I might be hitting that one later.
Yep. Get some more into you.
Just chilling up. All right, number 2.
Number 2. Here he goes. I wish I got Jez to play some music here so you don't have to listen to us chew. Just chuck it all in. Let's just chuck 3 pieces at a time.
Okay.
Yep.
Ooh.
What's happening, Hayden?
Starting to feel it. Might have some water to go with it.
Okay, hang on. Whoa. No water.
No water? Okay.
Once you finish. How are you traveling? Any pieces left?
There's 2 left. How many you got?
2 as well. Get them in.
Ooh.
You're looking a bit red there.
Yeah, I'm looking a bit red there.
Let's bring everyone else in now. We'll continue to jerk off.
Oh.
How many more you got? Who's missing?
I've got what? Oh.
This is unbelievable stuff. This is.
Where's he gone?
He's fucked off. You can't hack it anymore.
Cut the cameras.
He's gone.
He's run for the milk.
Where's he gone? Jez, you got anything to say?
Yeah, apologies for the mukbang. It's not what we're about here, but Adam and I recorded something previous, so check this out.
No sound.
No, where's the sound gone?
You guys are going to have to
You'll have
voice
to say
over
it
it.
live, Adam. You'll have to talk over it.
So, long story short, that's the hot jerky right there. Hayden had a packet of hot jerky as well. I switched mine out for the original jerky. What Hayden didn't realise is we'd already switched his hot jerky out and given him the burner jerky, which I believe was like the 3rd hottest chili in the world or something like that. So Hayden thought he was having chili and I was having chili with him. So meanwhile, I'm scoffing the original down. And Hayden's probably about to run to the toilet. So it's not going to end well for him. So.
As I said, it's what he deserves for being a filthy Queenslander. And we're a bit salty here in New South Wales, so get that up here.
Yep. So, yeah, that was our revenge, guys. So if Hayden doesn't come back tonight, if he doesn't come back tonight, It simply means that we don't have to listen to Hayden talk about Queensland winning. So we've always done every single one of you a massive favour there. So thank us later. Let's welcome everyone else in. To start with, Longy, how are you travelling on this Tuesday night?
Yeah, mate, even better now after that mukbang content. You know, everyone wants to watch you guys eat and make those little noises. So, yeah, good, mate.
Not the first time you've watched a jerk off, I reckon. Anyway, Jack, how are you?
Yeah, mate. Doing good. Been a roller coaster of a week since I last saw you, but we're in reasonably high spirits considering.
Yep, Chase. Sunday at Parramatta. You got over it yet?
Nah, I'm not over it. But I did enjoy the bit of ASMR from the jerking off there. That was lovely. Thanks so much.
Troy, fresh cut, mate. What's going on? New man.
Yeah, mate. New beginnings, new man. Thought I'd get the haircut and bit of a trim on the face as well. So, yeah, looking forward to this weekend's football action.
I must say, you look 10 years younger. Like,
Thank you very much.
And I noticed you've got your hoodie on there as well. Is that just a bit of a slap in the face to Taylor that you wear the hoodie better, or?
Nah, look, it's very cold here in Penrith, so it's very comfortable, as I told you before. So I think we should try and get Woody on as a sponsor next winter for all of us to wear them.
So we can all dress like Troy. Yeah.
Yeah,
Every time
100%.
I'm probably about to throw off Woody as a sponsor here, but every time I see Woody and you in the Woody, all I think is of Homer Simpson in his fat man suit. I'm not saying you're a fat man. I'm saying all I think in the Homer in his body.
And that is one of the greatest episodes ever, too. I remember that one.
Moo-moo.
It is pretty good. Yeah, the moo-moo. Taylor, welcome. You're back officially. You stood in for one episode and everyone wanted more. Like, you're in high demand. You got your welcome post today. It went nuts. How are you traveling up there in Queensland?
Pretty good. That's the quickest I've ever passed on a probation period. So pretty happy with that. Happy to be here. Still a bit triggered from losing twice in a week, but happy Hayden's gone. I can already feel the vibes are a bit higher without the Queenslander here.
Yeah, you'd have been copping all week up there in Queensland for sure. So yeah, we had to get rid of him, and it really, we don't care if we've caused him pain for the next 2 weeks, because like the pain he was going to dribble on this podcast tonight, it was literally going to cause people pain for the rest of the year. Like, it was going to be that frustrating. So we had to get rid of him. He's gone. And
he's probably on the way to the hospital. He cut off pretty quick.
He's gone. Yeah, he didn't even say bye. I'm in his face is red. Hayden, can you send us a message in the comments or something if you're still doing all right? Like,
he just sent a video in the group chat, so we'll have to check that one out later.
Oh God, yeah, I don't think we will. All right, let's get on to Sunday's game. Obviously, out there at CommBank Stadium was our paradise. First of all, shout out to the Parramatta fans. There was a lot of Parramatta fans turn up. You know, you kind of had to remind yourself that we were still sitting 15th on the ladder, because 22,000 people there. I personally didn't think there was that many Penrith fans there compared to what Parramatta took to the game against Penrith when it was Penrith's home game. There, I didn't think there was that many Penrith fans there. Blue and Gold Army turned up in big numbers. I know it's been 3 weeks since we had a home game, so that deserves a bit of a shout out as it is. But which was a disappointing result. It was a pretty good first half. We're going to get into some of the referee stuff later. I know Jason's burning up; he's ready to go, and you know it's obviously going to be pretty hard, but. I just want to start by saying the first half was good. The second half wasn't good enough for a professional rugby league team. Yes, there were some bad calls, and I know you need your luck, obviously, to go your way in football, especially when you're down on your luck and you are sitting 15th against one of the top teams, because let's be honest, they are one of the top teams again now, which I know disappoints all of us, especially Troy. But, you know, some of the simple things we did in our game, stupid decisions like, you know, we're up 10-6 at half time and we go for a field goal, you know, to go ahead 12-6, like, why not run and play? Why not try and score there? Like, why not something? Off the back of that field goal, obviously they go up the other end of the field and score a very controversial try, but they score a try to go ahead at halftime. Going ahead at halftime for us and going in the break halftime would have been a massive morale boost. It would have been something we needed, especially after being down, what was it, 20-6 to something like that to St. George, you know, in our last game. So second half not good enough, as I said. I'll get your thoughts on the game. I'm going to go to Jason last because I know where it's going to go. Longy?
Yeah, it was a tough one. We had a few big moments that just didn't go our way. So Zach Lomax got that ball, you know, dropped it. They went the other way. End of that set, they score a try. 12-point turnaround at a point that was pretty pivotal, and it was pretty close at that stage. So there was that. Jace is going to be absolutely 100% correct in everything he says about the referees, so I'll just leave that with him. But a little bit of class, and the referee's not checking the ladder every time there's a call to be made, and we're right in that game. So I don't feel, I didn't enjoy watching it, but I don't feel completely depressed about it, and I think we're on the right track.
Yeah, I agree. There was some positive points. So, yeah, Troy, I know you're riding with passion on Sunday afternoon for that game. How are you feeling now?
Yeah, look, not too bad. I've watched the replay a couple of times, and yeah, still disappointed that we lost, but we're in it in the first half. As Longy mentioned there, the Zach Lomax drop ball, the break down the sideline with Addo Carr and Sean Russell, when Alamotti got the touch and stopped that. That could have been a try as well. But yeah, that second half just wasn't good enough. A couple of easy tries through the middle. Forget who it was for Junior and Jack Williams, the try scorer there, but that was a bit of a misread there. Sean Russell got a bit bamboozled by Nathan Cleary, but yeah, disappointed to lose to the Panthers. But Longy will be happy though, because one stat we did get was the average play the ball speed. We actually beat the Panthers in that one, so I'll save that for him.
Great, nice stealing his segment. Jez, I don't know if you can go into the group chat and see that video and see if it's viewable by all. But if it is, can we get that up? Can we get that on here? Because Hayden sent to a video of the group chat of how he's traveling. So check it's viewable first of all, and then we'll see if we can get it up. Jack, I'll let you touch on Wednesday night because I know you're still feeling the disappointment as someone who's passionate about Origin. And then obviously Sunday as well.
Yeah, so Wednesday was tough. Obviously, I hate losing to Queensland, especially living in here. Worst thing, having to get a Shibasaki goatee, which I've agreed to continue having until Parramatta win a game. So maybe here to stay.
I like it.
Side note, I was going to say, I've got a lot of positive reviews about it, so I'm not hating it. So we'll see how that tracks. In terms of Sunday, the two things that stick in me is the fact that Zach Lomax loves a 12-point turnaround has become my new favorite saying. I seem to be saying it every week now. And then watching Sean Russell fall for a dummy by Cleary, that would have given a Parramatta 2-on-1 advantage to Alamotti. Just bamboozled me. He ran straight over to Alamotti, who was already being tackled by Addo Carr, just because wants to hang out. But yeah, it's a tough one. Not a big fan of Peter Goff, but that was the case prior to this game happening.
Yeah, fair. Taylor, thoughts on Sunday?
Oh, we were so in it that first half. I had so much hope. I was like, holy crap, we might actually do this. And then that try at the end of the first half, after that, we were cooked. We just didn't come back from it. No oomph in the team. Discipline was out the window. And especially just shows the whole discipline, the team's discipline when Zach dropped that ball and old mate just took off with it. And Zach just, instead of even chasing him, just blew it and was looking all sad on camera and stuff. Like, just no discipline. So stressful to watch. You just want to get on the field and do it yourself.
Yeah, I know, and I could because I'm just that talented. As my
Adam would have scored that try.
Yeah, definitely, 100%.
Well, you know what? I've been on the wing for one game this year, and I've scored one try. And I reckon it was probably harder than that one. I reckon I could have caught it and ran away.
Let's get a petition going for Adam to be the new right winger.
It was the defenders that you were playing up against, though, Adam.
I ran over the top of them. It was like Stevo versus Tedesco. It was fucking easy. I played lock on the weekend, guys, and I'll tell you this much. Playing on the wing is fucking easy. All you do is hang out with footballers. When you got to go in the middle again at 33, it's hard. Okay, so I never want to hear a winger make an excuse that it's too hard and they couldn't finish it because they're like the mailman. You know, all the mailman's got to do is deliver the mail. It's not that hard a job. Everyone does the work for them. Someone packs their bag for them. Like, you know, the black gets them there. Sorry to all the mailmen watching that might be taking offence to this. I've now pissed off Udi and Australia Post today, but you know, like it's a pretty easy job. Let's go to Jason, and I don't even think we need to. We don't even.
Are you there, Jason?
Hang on, Jason. Yeah.
I think there's a Smurf on his screen.
Don't start yet, Jason. Don't start yet.
What do we say about this game? Like, I don't know how the refereeing keeps getting worse, but it just does. It just does. It just ceases to amaze me how stupid these referees are. It's unbelievable. It's just unbelievable. Like, first of all, the Fox, come talk to me. I feel like there's an indirect discrimination claim you can make against the refs because apparently you get done for tunnel balls, but nobody else in the world does. Nobody else in the world does except for Josh Adokar. Only Josh Adokar doesn't make a genuine attempt, but everyone else makes genuine attempts. And there's apparently a genuine attempt of a guy that just walks over a ball, and then a play later, besides a knock on, they score a try. So Josh Adokar, I'm telling you, mate, let's sue the NRL, because I think there's an indirect discrimination claim that you can make here under the Racial Discrimination Act. Now, it's an absolute fucking joke. Peter Goff, I don't know what's wrong with him. Is he scared? I don't know what's going on. But Penrith were offside all the time, and he was calling us offside. Now, what they do, as we all know, is that at the end of the game or in stupid situations, they just give dumbass penalties to even everything out. But at halftime, we were okay, but we copped it. We copped it for about a 20-minute period, and Penrith were just loving it. I pretty much said I don't even know who was next to me, my goddaughter, and I was like, how badly do these refs want Penrith to play finals? Like, seriously, like, it was just ridiculous. Now let's go to the actual calls. Tunnel ball that led to a try, knock on that was missed. You've got besides the fact that there was a lot of errors that we made, you got Tango taking out Kit Kat for the next 8 to 10 weeks, like literally just taking him out with the most textbook hip drop you've ever seen in your life, completely missed, right? There was a situation where I think it was Dury got knocked in the head, got absolutely smacked. Like, you wouldn't believe how much he got smacked in the head, and he was okay, but everyone missed it. The touchy missed it, Goff missed it. He had to stay down in order to get the penalty. Like, he had to milk it because everybody missed it. It was an absolute freaking joke. Yes, of course, the double movement. Let me get to it. I called that live. I said, he's been tackled. You can't get tackled. And then how has the bunker not seen that? The images are all over Facebook. We have the exact frame when his hand carrying the ball touches the ground and Ayongi is still holding on to him. That's a fucking tackle, you fucking morons. Learn the fucking rules, you absolute dipshits. Now, I'm getting so upset. I can't remember what the other ones are now. But Goff is an absolute freaking joke. He's an absolute moron. And, like, I don't know how these refs keep getting worse. Honestly, I don't know. Send them all back to reserve grade. Get them all to take the test again. You know when taxi drivers get into an accident and they've got to redo the taxi driver's test? Well, all these refs are in accidents. They're causing accidents. They need to fucking do their test again. All right? I'm absolutely sick of seeing this shit. I can't even remember what else I've missed now because I'm so frustrated with that bullshit. But it was an absolute freaking joke. It was an absolute freaking fucking joke. And
Jason, you are too good for this show. You should be on 360, mate.
Tell us what you really think, Jason.
Oh my god!
What was your thoughts on the second half performance by Parramatta though? Because like I touched on, yes, we know there were some referee mistakes. It's pretty obvious, and I agree with you.
Terrible.
It comes with being a bottom team. But
like Longy said, they were looking to penalise us. But then Penrith were offside, and it's okay. It's no problem. There was another one. There was another one where there was a blatant accidental offside, and Goff missed it. Goff absolutely missed it. Now, some of them are coming back to me now. So blatant accidental offside.
He just needed a deep breath.
What are you fucking doing, mate? What are you fucking doing? Seriously. Like, if it touches a Penrith player and there's a Penrith player in front of him and then it touches him, he is offside. And even if it doesn't touch him, if he then goes back, he has to go back behind the player before he can take it, or the player has to put him back on side. It's like fucking under eights and basic fucking reffing. Like, I don't understand what's wrong with these people. Honestly, like, where's the review? Where's what's his face coming out on a Monday morning and telling us we fucked up? Graham Annesley, where's him saying we fucked up? Seriously. But like, what about Kit Kat's out for 8 weeks? He's out for 8 weeks.
Yeah, we'll
get nothing.
Wunsa, pipe down, rubber dub. Wunsa, it's okay.
Serenity now.
I know our season is over, but it doesn't help when the refs look to penalise the lower grade team and they're like, oh, Penrith, oh, they're so good. We have to make the play finals. Fuck you, Penrith, and fuck the refs.
All right.
Like, at 10
What about Nathan Cleary?
Yeah. He's been told to cool off. All right, go cool off. Go cool off.
Nathan Cleary, did I not call it?
Des has muted him. Anyway, let's get on
He's still
to,
going.
let's get on to the result of the game with the player of the match. And the player of the match this week, I think we all pretty much said this. I don't think anyone's going to argue this. Hang on, Jez is stepping in. What do you got?
Before we do, who are we missing here, by the way? Add them in. We have an update from Hayden.
I don't know.
Right.
No one. We're not missing anyone.
Viewer discretion. If you're a bit squeamish, look away now.
Oh no.
Honestly, didn't expect that from the lads. The water's empty too. Oh my god. No, bro.
I did get permission from him to play that, but the poor bloke is suffering. Anyway, back to the podcast.
Yeah, Paul's a fan by the looks of it too, by the way.
Oh, well, Paul, if you can't have a laugh, mate, this isn't a this isn't play school. Anyway,
Got to be more professional, guys. Honestly,
Let's talk about the football.
he had it coming though. Like he had it coming. Let's be honest. Like he's just been running his mouth about Queensland. You guys haven't seen our group chat. Our group chat has been going off with him just dribbling, hasn't it? Like anyway. Player of the match, like I said, was Isaiah Iongi. I think we all voted for Isaiah. I think everyone's just going to nod and agree there. Outstanding performance. It's like it was personal for him. 10 kick returns, 69 kick return meters. Like, look, the actual stats weren't that good when you look at him on paper, but compared to everyone else and, the way he played, it was absolutely fantastic. Could just see he was on early. A lot of people are saying, let's get this kid on a 10-year deal and let's get it done as soon as we can. So it's got to be a priority to sign him up because he's definitely going to be our future star for a long time coming. Defender of the match, and someone just said in the comments, it was Charlie Geimer. Starting in the second row, I think he went unused, didn't he, in the Dragons game? 54 tackles, 95% success rate, 80 minutes. Just had a great game in attack as well. Threw the pass out to Bailey, for Bailey to throw that flick pass, obviously, to Zach for the second try of the game. I thought Charlie Geimer was huge. Longy, touch on Charlie for us. Obviously, he burst on the scene last year. Seemed to struggle. I know he got a lot fitter. Moved obviously from the middle out to the edge and seemed to struggle at the start of the year, but seems like he's found his way now.
Yeah, when he first came on, it looked like he was going to be one of those really damaging middle forwards off the bench. Like he just sort of came on with a lot of heat, and I don't know. I still think he might end up back in that direction. I think we got Kautonga. We have Jack Williams as well, who I think moves to the edge. I see Geimer as a potential middle in the future. Maybe when he gets a bit stronger, a bit older, that sort of thing. But Adam, are you seeing him as the long-term option on the edge there, or what are you thinking?
I don't know. I personally, I'd like to see him put some size back on and go. He's not going to play lock now. I think the future plans for lock are for, like obviously Walker's going to be there at the moment. Hopgood finally in the front row, but we'll get to that. That's what we've been calling for ages. But I think with Riley and Talon Silva, I think one of them will be playing more as a small-bodied lock. So he'd have to put some serious weight back on to get in the front row. I love Jack Williams on the edge. So I'd probably try and find a way to move Charlie to the middle, yes.
Yes, we're on the same page.
Yeah. Troy, agree?
Mm-hmm. Well, you basically covered it all, did you? He did burst on the scene and then he got injured and then, struggled at the start of the year and slowly but surely towards the end of this year, he's coming better. So, yeah.
Yeah, Josh says there he reckons he's not going to be an edge player. Like I said, he was a power player last year. He was a power player when he's in the middle. I just don't think he can be a power player anymore at the size he is. Like he's dropped like 16 kilos or something like that. Like he struggled in the middle because he got ran over. So on the edge, I think is where he's going to be perfect. He's back there again this week. Jack obviously moves out there with Kit Kat, which you're going to get to later, injured. It's very sad to talk about Kit Kat. Sad to talk about Kit Kat last week. I got to talk about him being injured, but yeah, I think that's what I was going to say. He's got.
I'll just say with Geimer, you got to remember he's 20 years old, right? So, like, what prop is good at 20 other than Payne Haas? Like, really, it's usually in sort of the mid-20s a guy grows into being a good NRL prop. So I think Geimer will still move back into that middle role, but it might take a couple of years, and that might be a couple of years where he's not regularly in first grade. That's how I see it panning out.
I know that's why they put him back to reserve grade. But someone like Sam Tuivasa obviously is a bigger body and he's burst on the scene. I think all big-bodied players burst onto the scene essentially and have success in the front row. Yeah, let's move on to the top performers. I didn't get the top performers graph done because I completely forgot about it today, but I'll run through a couple for you quickly. Obviously, the top meters for Parramatta. Zach Lomax ran for 202 meters. Hayden currently. He's down at Wollongong currently, feeling it. Iongi 157, Adakar 133, Simonson 124, and Williams 116. So it gets to Williams on 116 before we get to a forward. Obviously, our backs doing all the work, and then Guy McCoy with 96. Obviously, it wasn't a massive meters for us. Longy, have you got the stats, mate? You want to jump into some stats for us? You ready to go?
From the game, yeah, I could
Hang on. We've got to play a segment first. You don't get to start. Like, this is the most popular segment we do because people love this.
Math is a wonderful thing. Math is a really cool thing. So get off your ass, let's do some math. Math, 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 math.
Banging song, mate. I had a few people at the weekend come up to me and say they can't get that song out of their head after you've been using it. So love to see it. In terms of stats from the game, I was really struggling to make up a story using the stats on how we were better because, quite frankly, we weren't. But I have some other stats I can share instead. So before I get into the good ones, the negatives are we were down on possession. We only had 46% of the ball. We had a lot less ball in hand. Our completion rate was only 75% to their 87. And the big one, we conceded 9 line breaks to 2. So I need to be sharper in defense there. Positive stats for us. I've got some more seasonal stats here. So big one here is Zach Lomax. And a lot of chat about Lomax. You know, he dropped the ball. He's careless, all this other stuff. And I've noticed it just across the board on social media that he's copying a lot of heat. I don't think it's fair at all. I think he's been playing Origin. He's been playing for us. And he does absolutely everything in our team. He's chasing every kick. He's making every hit up. He's creating an attack. Like, he's doing so much for Parramatta. And a couple of stats really highlight that. First one here is run meters. I'm going to give you a sequence of players who are behind Zach Lomax in meters per game. So Kalen Ponga, Payne Haas, Terrell May, Paddy Carrigan. We go into the back line here. Some popular guys like RTS. You know, Brian To'o, he gets praised every week for his run meters. Lomax is ahead of him. Karaz, Charles Nickel Clockstar, and Greg Marzu. So Lomax is actually third in the league in meters per game. So on top of chasing every single kick, competing on those, then getting back to the wing, then making every hit up, he's doing everything. I reckon he's exhausted. Like, if I was him, I'd be totally gassed too. So for Zach Lomax, I reckon cut him some slack. Like, mistakes are going to happen when you're going through that sort of work rate. The other stat I wanted to highlight here was Isaiah Yongi, top 4 in the league in support runs. So a stat that Gutho normally dominates, Yongi has totally stepped into that support running role. It's something that doesn't really get talked about in his game, but he is pure energy when it comes to backing guys up. So the stats are positive in terms of, you know, just be a bit more forgiving as Zach Lomax, guys. So that's the key thing there. I think Lomax is doing a ton for us, and I don't want to see the fans turn on him.
Let's talk to Jack about this. Jack. Zach Lomax, obviously in Origin, we saw, and I sat next to Troy and it happened as well. It was just to launch the ball up in the air and wait for Zach to chase it. Seemingly Parramatta did the same thing on the weekend, right? Have we got to be better? Have we got to draw up a better plan for Zach than just expect him to essentially be a dog chasing a ball?
Yeah, that's what the Dragons did so well with him last year. They were putting him in spots to succeed. Our game plan at the moment is 4 rucks, cheeky little backline movement, either kick to his corner or kick to the middle. And when we do that, he attacks, either catches it, flicks it out, or bats it back. And nobody pushes up. So 9 times out of 10, the ball will bounce a couple of times into their hands. We either need to try something else and use him as a bit of a specialty, like when it's on, or back up with him, because we can't just every 5th tackle kick to him and expect something to happen. We need a game plan around it. We need to either work the left side a bit more and then come back to the right, or we need to back up. So when he does tap that ball back, we've got numbers around the ball, because at the moment we're just not doing anything. And he's being the one to blame because the things that were working for him last year aren't working, but we're not putting him in the same position to succeed as the Dragons were.
And
You're so spot on there, Jack, too. Just on those balls batting back. Sometimes it looks like he's batting the ball back. He's creating a beautiful play. It's probably going down as an error on the stat sheet. But our guys are sort of looking like they're surprised. He's batted it back, like they weren't expecting it. And it happens again and again and again. And by the second half, it seems like we sort of wise up to it. But yeah, if he's going to bother chasing, then the rest of the chase needs to be built around the fact that he's probably going to get the ball loose and needs to be ready for it. So completely agree with you there, Jack.
I want to move to another point based on that, just based on this launching the ball up in the air. And we didn't put this on the run sheet or anything, but I'm starting to find us we're an exciting attacking team when we're like kind of in that, I guess, 30 meters around end to the attacking 30 or whatever. As soon as we get in that final 20, we're a very predictable, boring attacking team. And I don't think anyone can know that. I can see you sitting there nodding your head, Taylor. Your thoughts on that? Like, is it frustrating? Am I the one getting frustrated watching it? How obvious it is?
It's so predictable. Back to the Lomax thing, like not who we versed 2 weeks ago before the bye. Can't even remember. Just got PTSD from every game this week. But whoever it was we were versing, every single attack on the last play was just a kick to Lomax. It was just so predictable, so boring. And then if Lomax did get the ball, he'd try and hit it back, and then no one's even there to back him up. It's just stupid. And no one, when we got the ball and we're in their 10 meter, everyone just looked so confused. And for example, every time Kit Kat gets a line break, he's running through, and then he's like, no one's ever there to back him up, and he just always looks confused. He's like, I don't know what to do now. It's just not many people are backing each other up, and we had that many opportunities on the weekend versus Penrith as well, and just no one was backing each other up. It's just so frustrating to watch because all the other teams, especially Penrith, they've always got someone running with them as soon as there's a line break.
Yeah.
Do we think that just to chime in? Do we think that maybe that's Josh Papali'i comes in, he's probably gonna have the 6th jersey for the rest of the year. Next to Moses, he'll have a limited job, so he won't be doing a lot of kicking. He's not going to steer the team around, take a few runs, a bit of playmaking here and there. But is his job maybe to be that second support runner? So Yongi's doing it well, but maybe through the middle he plays that role too with his background at fullback.
Yeah, for sure.
It makes the most sense too.
Well, Dylan Brown has been the best of it for the last 5 years, really. And he's obviously not interested. That's come out this week, and we'll get to that later. There's been a bit of stuff going on in the background there, but like that's what he's done so well. Like you saw Moses pop through, Dylan would be in support. Gutho pop through, Dylan would be there. It's like no one's taken the initiative or the step up to actually be that player. And Gutho was brilliant at it, let's be honest. Like Gutho was always there. And I feel like Iongi does more. I won't say he does more off the ball than Gutho did, but he certainly is quicker when he's doing it. And it makes it a lot more obvious. But the problem is I think it's the unpredictability of no one looks like they're going to break the line. Like I'll say now, and I was sitting there saying it to you guys, and I was saying it to Hayden in front as well. Like I'm all for the Dylan Brown situation, which we're going to touch on, but I personally would have had Dylan Brown back on that field when that game was there to be won. And I'm all for preparing for next year. And I love that we're preparing for next year with starting Joash. And I love that Joash had that opportunity. But when that game was there to be won, I'm not taking Joash off. I'm just putting Dylan on wherever the fuck I need to. Second row, lock, front row. What's it matter?
Chuck him with another minute there just to get the ball out a bit.
Correct. And that's
why did he come with 6 minutes on? He literally got put back on with 6 minutes to go. I don't understand the thought process there.
And that's
because he's number 6.
The thought process is simple. Rolls is a rookie coach. He's still learning what to do.
Dylan's got to bring the heat though. Like he got a nearly half a footy at hooker and he ran 5 meters. Like he could take, if he just said to himself, "Hey, I'm going to take 5 scoots this half," he probably would have created a line break, but he didn't do that. And the intent.
You know who really was threatening? Dury. Dury ran hard AF. He was killing it. He looked like he was going to absolutely destroy them. And then I don't know what happened. He just got taken.
Yeah, he has that game though. I feel like every sort of month or two, Matt Dury has one of those games, and then just disappears. He's got it in the bag, 100%.
It's funny, I was talking to someone on the phone about this the other day. I think it was my brother, unless it was one of you guys. I don't know. And talking about our forward rotation and stuff and what it's going to look like in the future, because we see Jack Williams going to edge and saying we need more forwards. But I think Matt Dury, if we get him to his consistent best every week, and let's remember he's been dropped in and out of first grade all year, I think he can play that bench forward role. I see, Junior and probably Luca Moretti starting next year. I see a slow changing of the guard towards the end of the year because Junior probably retire next year, where Sam Tuivasa takes over Junior's role towards the back end. And, maybe Dury is that man that comes in and plays for Luca. I don't think we're going to make a big name sign. We've got Jack DeBell in there obviously as well. It's going to picture in that as well. But like, I think we do have the foundations there for those 4 things. We got distracted from the Dylan Brown thing, but like Jason made a valid point. And it's one thing we always forget. Like, we've got a lot of inexperience in the team, a lot of players learning. And interestingly, Joe Ash put up after the game that, learning well on the run. Jason Rolls is learning on the run as well. And I think the last 2 games, yeah, we can be critical of it. We can say that he made a few errors because he definitely made errors in the Dragons game. But he's also shown some big fucking balls. And he's not afraid to make a hard call. And it's, Brad Arthur was at the club for 13 years. And he wouldn't have made the hard calls that Jason Rolls has made this last week and this week with the team list as well. So, I want to give him benefit there before we start to bag him out too much. It's constructive criticism anyway, but like, we've got to remember everyone learns on the run when they start a new job, and he's learning on the run. So, there's much else to add. No one else saying we're going to add on that? No.
And we wouldn't have Iongi right now either if we didn't have Jason Rolls.
Yeah,
exactly right. And he's consistently our best player every week. I think Jack Williams he would have been Jason Rolls signing as well. Like, all the new guys that have come in under Rolls have done their job.
Yeah, and Dylan Walker.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the interesting story about Dylan Walker, don't know if we told this before, was that the club wanted to turn Gutho into a Dylan Walker style player. And that was the conversation that was had with Gutho. We want you to play like Dylan Walker. Gutho obviously decided he didn't want to do that. He went off to St. George, and boom, all of a sudden we've got Dylan Walker. So it's funny how life works out sometimes, isn't it? You never know what could be around the corner and what we could be about to sign. That's for sure. Let's move on from the men's game. Let's get to the NRLW game, and I'll be 100% honest. We organised an event, obviously, at Parramatta Leagues Club. My father decided to fuck around in the morning, which meant that me and Hayden got there about 6 minutes late. It was already 8-0. We put $500 on the bar for the good folks up in Parramatta Leagues Club to drink with. And Troy, I had to take off pretty much at half time to go across and do a couple of things at the ground. You caught the majority of the game while having a tin wag and quite a few beers there at Parramatta Leagues Club. What'd you make of the game?
Well, it wasn't the ideal start because there was a knock-on in the first set, so handling was a big issue in the game, pretty consistently, I thought. The fortunate thing was the fact that the Warriors scored out in the corners, so they couldn't convert their goals, but I think it was more just a handling issue. I think Casey Tikahiku had one of her worst games, I think, in a long time. And just couldn't get back into the game. Slowly, we thought we were going to score a try, but I think we got one disallowed from a forward pass, which was probably, always like those forward passes, that line ball sort of thing. Disappointing, but it was always going to be tough going over to New Zealand with their first game back at home in a long time, and especially after getting beaten how they did against the Roosters the week before.
Yeah, I think obviously the girls are on the high from beating Cronulla, and we saw what Cronulla did to Canberra. 56-6, 56-6 over Canberra.
56-6, yeah.
Some great try celebrations as well by those Cronulla girls. They had an absolute field day there with Try July. But I think the girls coming away from that win and how gutsy that win was in the defence they did, to go across to New Zealand against, a Warriors team, I guess no one ever knows what to expect from any Warriors team. Doesn't matter if it's NRL, NRLW. You get across there, you never know what you're going to expect. At home, they're always going to be hard to beat. So, look, 14-0 early on the year, you can live with that. Big chance to bounce back this week. They play Canberra down in Canberra. It's the first doubleheader of the year with the men's as well. So, we are heading down to Canberra. Obviously, get along to both games. But Canberra actually are favourites, even though they copped a hiding last week. So, I think the girls will use that as a bit of a motivation. They did go in as favourites over in New Zealand as well. So, obviously disappointing result, but early season, and the benefit of having obviously more teams in finals this year is only one win away from being right back in it for the girls. Player of the match was Abby Church on the highlights I watched, and what I did see the game, she was everywhere. Just did not stop trying. 16 runs, 223 run meters, 35 post contact meters, 3 tackle breaks, and 2 line breaks. So unlucky not to convert some of those line breaks into tries, but that wasn't, I guess, any bad doing on her behalf. It was the way the Warriors girls kept turning up in defence, and it's only going to get better. Don't think there's much else to say about that game, really. You can't really work through much of it when we didn't score any points. It's not like there was many key moments. I will say that I kind of wish we stuck to the original plan. So I'm going to blame my father for that, because the original plan was to put drinks on at Parramatta Leagues Club, fully open bar, until first points were scored. And what was it? 2 minutes into the game, first points were scored.
Very quickly.
Unless you went first points for Parra. That would have been great.
No.
First points in the game.
It would have been a riot. And that would have been started by Troy. He would have had his pitchfork out and his flame. He would have been ready to take me if we cut off the bar that early. But anyway, let's move on from that game. Let's get to some of the news of the week, and let's talk about the Dylan Brown situation. Obviously, there was an article that came out yesterday in regards to Dylan Brown. We want to call it Dylan's regret. And essentially it came out and said, look, Parramatta obviously pretty much made it obvious he won't be playing in the starting team for the rest of the year unless we get injuries that we don't, or something happens there. But Parramatta did look to offer him to Newcastle early to get him out before June 30. Dylan decided that he did not want to go. Now, we've got to bring him in. Sorry, Jez, you can't sit in the background for this one because this is going to directly affect you. So sit up, smile. Let's go to you as a Newcastle fan, first of all. How does that make you feel that Dylan Brown, who's just signed a 10-year deal at your club, the biggest deal in NRL history, doesn't want to come to your basket case of a club early?
It makes me feel really safe. It makes me proud to be an Overcastrian. It makes me proud to wear the red and blue every week and spend my hard earns to be a nearly 30-year member. Really excited about these players that want to come to the club and put on their best performance every week.
Yeah.
I haven't had any media training, I promise. No strings on me. Unbelievable. It's a shamble. I know this isn't a Newcastle podcast, but far out. It's a tough watch. I can't wait for Spoon Bowl in the last round. Adam and I have got our outfits ready to go. We're dressing up as big wooden spoons. Whoever wins gets to take it home. Bring on last round.
Yeah, is there anyone that can make that? Like, we've got to get that costume posted. If there's anyone creative out there, like, that can actually make us a big wooden spoon costume each, well, we will wear it. Okay, so we need to do it.
Proudly.
Yeah, so, like, we're willing to pay good money to get that wooden spoon costume. It could be huge, but let's just dive a bit deeper in from a Parramatta point of view here. Like, obviously we look to get rid of him, which I come out in the club about 2-3 weeks ago. I come out and put a post out saying he should be moved on now. Dylan kind of wasn't happy with it, I don't think, by the looks he gave me when my 4-year-old son went up and gave him no choice but to talk to me. I really feel like now this was a manager-based decision. I feel like his manager hasn't done what's best for Dylan Brown here. And, on this podcast, we obviously care a lot about mental health and stuff like that. I'm really worried for Dylan. And people are going to go, look, he's made his bed. It's time for him to lay in and stuff like this. But his manager's not going to give a fuck about him. His manager's just got 7% of a $14 million deal. His manager's just walked away with, what's that? A little side. I'll do the quick maths in my head. $960,000. No, 142. Yeah, $980,000. His manager's walked away from that $14 million deal.
He's earned every dollar of it, though, mate. That's
yeah. He's over. He's like the bum car salesman that's sold the Hyundai Accel as a fucking Lamborghini. Really, that's what he's done there. He's put the price up big time on the market. But I really do feel for Dylan. It's funny that I feel for Dylan when Jack's probably the only one that wants to feel Dylan. But Jack, what's your thoughts on this situation? Like, if Parramatta could keep him now, would you have him?
Does he go back to his original Parramatta contract, or are we stuck with stupid Newcastle money?
Not Newcastle. Well, you're never going to get Newcastle. This is a hypothetical where you sign a contract. The only way he's going to get out of that is to, I guess, go through the RLPA and all that kind of stuff.
Well, let's say he goes through it all.
Yep.
And he goes, Newcastle, yeah. I think I would find a way to keep him. I think, especially with how our team's looking at the moment, with how young our spine is, and the fact that Mitch is in his prime, I think having someone who's a bit more seasoned working with him and nurturing the youngsters is our best chance to have success as a club while Mitch is in the middle of his prime. We forget the fact that he is probably the best defensive half in the comp, as well as probably top 3, top 4 best supporting half. And the times that we've said that he doesn't stand up, he doesn't when Mitch isn't there is correct. But I feel like there's been a lot of times where we've replaced Mitch with a half who isn't first grade standard, and we just struggle. There's not much we can do. We've seen how good Brown does play with Mitch. They were a halves pairing that made it to a grand final. There's a reason behind that. So if there was a way for us to have him back in this situation, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Anyone disagree with him? Anyone happy Dylan Brown's
Firmly.
gone?
Yep.
Oh.
All right.
Jace, you can go first, mate, if you want.
No, he's
Well,
done.
hang
He's done.
Hang on.
We,
no,
we, all,
we're
we
going
all
to
love him.
we're going to give him a chance here. Hang on. We're going into this. This is the first ever whinge off on the show. So welcome. Just wait. I'm just going to remove myself. It's going to be Jason versus Jack here in a whinge.
I don't understand what's going on, but he's had his time, man. Like, look how he's playing now, and he's been playing like that since after the grand final. He just doesn't care. If he doesn't have Mitch next to him, he can't do much. And don't get me wrong, he's got a good defense and he's a good bloke, and we love him. I love him as a bloke. He's a top bloke, but his form hasn't been up to scratch since the grand final. So what's the point? Like, just because he likes the place, just keep him there. I don't know. What are you going to do?
Yeah, that is true. I do see the fact that our roster got a bit gutted straight from that grand final. So we've been in a bit of a retooling phase since then. And the fact that since that grand final, there's a stat that in the last, 2 years, Moses has played 10 games. So he spent the majority of the last couple of years playing with a reserve grade halfback, with a fullback that's busted on his way out. And then we started this year. Obviously, I'm going to assume that some portion of his form is going to all the external media of the signing and all that. So who knows if Mitch stays healthy and we don't have this whole contract saga hanging over his head, that his form doesn't improve.
Dude, that's the point, isn't it? That he's shown us as a player that he can't step up, and that's what we needed. We needed someone to step up in Mitch's absence. You don't. Other teams like someone like like Manly, they lose Turbo and they crumble, but they've still got Cherry trying his ass off, right? And trying to create things. So I don't know. Like we can't. I guess it's in the abstract, and we can't know exactly what was going to happen. But for me, he dropped off massively, and he's always tried hard. He's always great in defense. He just doesn't know how to manage a team. He doesn't know how to manage without people telling him what to do. And he's super chill, super great guy. And that's that. Look, he deserves to go surfing in Newcastle. I mean, good luck to him. I mean, we need to move on. And Joash is absolutely electric, and I can't wait till he starts learning his role. And that's another reason why I don't care if he goes, because I feel like Joash is the next big thing as well. So let's hope for the best, I guess.
All right, lovers, let's split it up. It's cute. Look at you two sitting there. It's perfect. So cute.
Such a lovely debate. I loved it. It was so respectful. We both had our time.
It was too kind. He's too kind to each other. Like,
Wasn't the
Well,
vibe
no,
right
I
there?
see how
Come
Jay
on.
speaks to the refs. He's kind of scary, bro.
He's not a ref. He's not a ref. If he was a ref, a different story.
Hey,
Yeah.
Jace,
It's just how I talk to the
zero
refs in local
F-bombs.
Aussag.
Disappointed. 0 F-bombs.
the best
I
thing
do-
was
I-
I got to eat some more of this jerky while sitting there.
So
I do
you're
want-
having a jerk
Yeah, we
off
can
while
hear you,
two
mate.
bloods are talking.
I do want to.
The original one.
I do want to say, guys, just FYI, like this jerky actually is amazing. I've got a lemon lime one as well, original, a sweet and sour one. The one we gave Hayden was a clear stitch up. So if you are looking for some jerky, you do love your jerky. There's a little QR code there. You're not going to be able to scam it. I'll share their page later on the Instagram and Facebook stories for Dad's jerky, because it actually is fucking amazing. Probably don't get the burner unless you can handle the burn. That's for sure. Because no one likes to burn after a jerk off. All right, let's move.
AG rated show.
Let's
Who
move
let
on.
this- Who let this bloke talk?
I know. As soon as there's a jerky in there, I just someone said it before and boom. All right, let's move on to something Longy want to talk about, then we'll let Longy go. The wooden spoon. He wants to know if everyone thinks if the Eels win the wooden spoon this year, is it a failure of a year? Longy, do you want to explain a little bit more about that?
Yeah, I think looking into the end of the season, we've got to make a call on whether we're okay with it now, right? Because we can retrospectively afterwards sort of go, oh yeah, we were fine with it, it's a rebuild, whatever. But I think it's bad if we end up with the spoon. We have Moses coming back soon. We've got a lot of the team that we're going to have for next year. We're in reasonable form in some areas of the game. We don't have too many injuries. Obviously, Kautonga's out. But I think if we end up with the spoon, it's a it's a bad sign. If we're in that spoon race, we're playing a spoon bowl, that's okay. But I'm going to see it as a little bit of a failure of a back end of a season to end up with the spoon.
I disagree with you. I'm going to let everyone else have their say first, but I might take you for a whinge off as well. Taylor, thoughts?
I disagree as well. I think if we get the spoon, I think it doesn't really. It's our first year with a new coach. We've got so many new players. Someone posted on Instagram today saying that we've only got like 3 people left in the team from the 2022 grand final. Like we just got a whole new team. To be honest, I don't even. Whatever happens, it's just so good seeing all the improvements each week that we've had. Like even last week's game, yeah, the score might have looked crap, but there's still so many improvements every single week, and I think it's just by next year could be going for the premiership, could be going from spoon to premiership.
Yeah.
That's probably the smartest thing that Andrew Backhouse has ever said in the comments. Troy, your thoughts? Well said, Taylor. Your thoughts, Troy?
Yeah, no, we can't play in 2 spoon bowls in 2 years for a club like ours, I don't think. So, no, it's never okay to get a spoon, even if it is a rebuilding year. But, you've seen coaches come in their first year and win comps. So, we know that there's a lot of new players and, look, they're just getting experience. But, cannot win the spoon. Cannot be in a spoon bowl 2 years in a row for a club like ours.
Right, I'm going to run through some. I'm going to give you some. Where is he? Where do we get Longy? Where's his head? There he is. I've wanted this battle.
I've got more, mate. I was keeping it nice for the start. I didn't want to.
Yeah, well, there will be some swearing in this one. Go on, have your say. I'll have my say first of all.
You can jump in.
I am. I'm planning on it. Don't worry. All right. So, look, for me, no one wants to win a spoon. I get that. At the start of the year, if you said, "Do you want to win a spoon?" Obviously, I'd say no. I was hoping we play finals football. But when you look at some other rebuilds, it usually goes down before it goes up. Now, obviously, our season's over. We've all accepted our season is over. I don't really think it matters what happens for the rest of the year as long as we're building for next year. So if we go out and we lose every game from now on 32-30, and it means we get the spoon, but our attack is, getting better, defense is an easy fix. Everyone knows defense wins matches, right? But our defensive system, if we decide to concentrate on our attack and concentrate on our new 5'8", with our young fullback and teach him how to, support better, learn the rotation of 2 hookers and try and work out what's going on with our middle forwards, I think that's the most important thing to carry on next year. I don't think it matters where you finish because as the great Ricky Bobby said, if you ain't first, you're last.
Wow, that's hard to argue with, Adam, but I think you're advocating for mediocrity here. I think you're a part of the problem with the culture at Parramatta. No, look, I'm going a bit hard there, but I will say I don't think we're going to win the spoon.
Free stuff I'm getting, isn't it? Yeah, it's all about.
Yeah, yeah, mate, you've been paid off. There it is. The problem is I'm in that photo. But look, for Parramatta, we should not win the spoon this year. We shouldn't win the spoon. It would be a miserable failure if we do win the spoon. And I'm going to rattle off some teams who are within 1 win of us, who are in 15th right now. So you got the Dragons, a win ahead. They're pretty rubbish. We should be okay with them. The Cowboys have been pretty atrocious over the last month in particular. They are totally falling off and they're copping some 60-point losses. And then down in the bottom 5, you got the Newcastle Knights, the West Tigers, the Rabbitohs, and the Titans. The Knights are missing Kalen Ponga, Fletcher Sharp, Dylan Lucas, and bloody who knows who else, right? They're running Dane Gagai, who's about 47 years old at fullback. Like, we should not fall behind the Knights. We are dead even with them on the ladder right now. If they somehow catch up and overtake us, that's an L. The Tigers, I think the Tigers have a bit more to play for, so I think they might rise up a bit. The Bunnies get Latrell back, so maybe they're in that conversation, but they're missing a lot of troops too. And the Titans are missing Keeney all year, Keanu Keeney. So I don't think we should be below the Knights or the Titans. Like, at an absolute minimum, if we do win the spoon, I'm pretty sad about it. Like, I really don't think we should be in that conversation.
What games do you have us winning, though? Let's be realistic here, because I've done the math today as well. Mm-hmm. And optimistically, as a Parramatta fan, there is a chance it happens. So we've got Canberra. We're not beating Canberra this week. We're not beating Brisbane and Brisbane. We're not meeting Melbourne. So you've got the Cowboys at home who are up and down like yo-yos. Then you've got, after that, you've got South Sydney who will be trying to avoid the spoon themselves because they're probably going to struggle to win a game before that. Actually, they'll win the week before against the Gold Coast. Then you've got the Roosters competing for finals, the Warriors in New Zealand, and Newcastle home in a potential spoon bowl. Like, can you look at that and say that we're going to avoid the spoon?
I haven't looked at all the draws. I just don't think we should be winning the spoon.
Fuck,
Newcastle
got him.
we should
Knew
be able
he'd
to beat.
prepare. He said he prepared, and I got him.
Look, mate, we shouldn't be winning the spoon. We don't want to start a new era off with a spoon. Like it's just a sad way to go. I'm not pre-accepting it. Look, I might be forgiving afterwards, but if we get to that spoon bowl and we're in the spoon bowl and we lose to Newcastle without their entire spine, I'll be pretty sad, mate.
Yeah, so will I actually. If we get to that spoon bowl, you're right, and we lose to Newcastle, we'll be looking for a new producer, and I'll be looking for a new friend because I'm not going to be able to put up with that bloke down there. That's for sure. Let's get back on track with the show, and look, we're going to see his smug look. Ready? He's talking about me. There we go. We'll let Longy go. Longy goes off and does another thing right now, and it's time to fuck Jezov out of there as well. He's
Bye, Longy.
Pretty for long enough. And there we go. Look, we're set. We're ready to go. Let's move on to let's talk about Kit Kat's injury first of all. The great Kit Kat followed us for quite a few days. It was a great few days when he followed us. But look, I do want to be careful what I say here in regards to obviously the person who did the injury because it is one of our players' brothers and all reports he's a nice guy. But it was a classic hip drop tackle. I don't think there was any malice in it. Obviously burst through that line a bit and he come across and made the tackle. But look at syndesmosis injury, 8 weeks, which you'd have to think would be the season. I know they're not saying season because last year when Mitchell Moses was ruled out for the season, then all of a sudden came back to play for Australia. A lot of Parramatta fans blew up. Different situation here. Kit Kat's put his all into the field, isn't our highest paid player and didn't get injured playing, State of Origin. So I think Kit Kat deserves to play for Fiji at the end of the year. I think he will, and I hope he does. But your thoughts on Kit Kat's injury, Jason?
Oh, it's just terrible. Look, no, I don't think anyone, like we always say, I don't think anyone goes in to injure players, but it was very bad. It looked very bad, and he should have copped 10 in the bin, and it should have been called on the field straight away. Right? And I'm sure it wasn't intentional. He was just trying to stop the break. I get that. But now Kit Kat's out for 8 weeks. I mean, I'm more pissed off with the refs, to be honest with you. The player is not intentionally doing it, but the refs should get onto that and call it and make sure it gets dealt with on the field. And now we lose, a very prominent up-and-coming second rower who was killing it and just starting to run hard, learning how to offload and solid in defense. And now we lose that for the rest of the year. I mean, it's just disgusting luck, and no one's helping us. The refs don't want to help us. Nobody wants to,
Here he goes again.
Tago only got 1 week for that. 1 week. I mean,
yeah.
Come on.
There needs to be some kind of rule change. And like however long the player's out for, if it's deemed as foul play, which it was, there needs to be a certain percentage, I reckon, in this situation. Like, he's out for what, an eighth of the time that, Kit Kat's, well, realistically, he's going to be out longer than that because we're not playing finals football. But, like when they do this grading and they make it a grade 1, a grade 2, I reckon everything should have a certain percentage of how long that player's injured. If the player is injured and misses some time. So if we're talking it's a grade 2 hip job, whatever that falls into, careless, I think it falls into or whatever, make it 30% or something, and a grade 1's 20%, vice versa or whatever. Because it's absolutely ridiculous that he goes and misses, 1 week and Kit Kat's gone for the season. Scott Mangold beat me to it, contribute there, but I was going to say Kit Kat's having a little bit of a break, but what do we do without our Kit Kat, Taylor? I'm going to miss him.
I know, it's sad. He was getting better every game. I was so excited every time I see him get a line break, and he always looks so confused. He's like, oh shit, what do I do now? He was getting better every game.
Just starting to work out what to do when he made the break. And he forward in open pastures looks like a child running around that's lost their parent in the fruit aisle at Woolworths. Let's be honest.
You see him going, what do I do now? It's so funny. Bless him. No, he was getting better every game. It's
Sorry. Well, I'm thinking as a kid walking around with a banana, happy they found their free fruit at Woolworths, and then can't find their parents. As soon as you said he looked like he had no idea what to do, that was 100% it. Troy, Kit Kat's gone. Jack Williams moves to the edge. Huge loss for Parramatta, though.
Oh, it is. And, I mean, I'm always confused about hip drops and always have been because, sometimes how you're supposed to stop a player. But as Jason said, you don't go out to injure players. It just happened, but everyone could see it was. So it should have been sin bin and longer suspension. But, probably Jack Williams, probably Matt Dury, Charlie Geimer, Luca Moretti when he comes back as well will probably be fighting for those spots.
No, Luke will be in the front row. Luke is set up as a front rower now for sure. But anyway, thanks for your input, Troy. And yeah, Udi, as Jez said, is beautiful.
It is.
Definitely we're at the best. You know, Taylor's going to rock up in her Udi next week now. And this is going to be a constant Udi off. All right.
No, I can't. Someone stole it when I was camping. Some feet out there.
It was Troy. Troy. What have I told you about hanging around the campsite?
We got to do a GoFundMe for Taylor to get a new hoodie.
Please, I need one. I need to outshine Troy.
Anyone want to comment on my
well, Taylor, that wouldn't be very hard to be honest. But
if anyone in the comments wants to buy Taylor an Audi, just let her know. All right, it's just clearly struggling, can't get an Audi, and Troy looks like he's stolen it. But anyway, that's why Troy went to jail.
The truth is out. The truth is out.
Let's go. Let's go through the team list now. This week's game, which I haven't done a graphic up for. As you can see, I've had a very fun day, a very motivated day. But team list for this week's game is Isaiah Young at fullback, Zach Lomax on the wing with Josh Adokar, Bailey Simonson obviously starts at centre like he did last week, but named there now with Sean Russell in the centres. Joash Papali'i at 5'8" with Dean Hawkins, Jermaine Hopgood. Finally, thank you, Jason Riles, for watching this podcast and listening to us there. Jermaine Hopgood in the front row with Junior Paulo. Riley straight back into hooker. Dylan Gould, Charlie Geimer and Jack Burns in the second row. Dylan Walker starts at lock. Look, I didn't love Dylan Walker starting at lock. I know we've been talking about it for a while, but I'll be 100% honest and say I wouldn't mind seeing Dury or someone potentially start there. Even, I don't know, they can do something. I didn't love it. I actually didn't love him starting. I just loved him starting more than Hopgood starting there. But anyway, and then bench of De Silva, Semrani, Dury, Tuivasa. Dylan Brown is the highest paid 18th man in Australia. Dan Kerr, extended bench, Tony Mattelli, Ronald Volkman, and Hayes Dunster pops back in there after returning from injury last week and playing quite well. So let's see, Hayes could still be in the plans there. Love to see that. Going through that team list, Jason, your thoughts?
I got a thought.
Why'd you hand up?
Yeah, because I just be polite. I reckon Sam Roney drops out. Dylan Walker goes to the bench, and Dylan Brown goes to 13.
Say that again.
Sam Roney drops out. Dylan Walker to the bench, and Dylan Brown to 13. Starting 13.
Or is that what you'd like to see?
No, I've called it out. Call it. Call me on. You heard it here first. No inside information, nothing. But just
okay.
it's set up for that perfectly. It's set up for that perfectly.
I don't like it. I think Sam Roney's if we're going to focus on next year, Sam Roney's more of our plans next year than obviously Dylan Brown is, because Dylan Brown's going up to the basket case at Newcastle. He's going to be burning in the background. I can't see him, but he's going to be burning in the background every time I say basket case. Yeah, it's got the finger. Anyway, your thoughts on the team, Jack?
Yeah, look, it was a shock, not going to lie. Got flooded with messages about 402. I've officially changed all of my jerseys. They all have number 18 on the back. I'm going to live through him now. It was pretty easy. They all had 6 on them, so just a little bit extra to make the 8. Nah, look, I'm not surprised. I don't hate the idea.
Did you wear your jersey upside down last week? Or I know he's still wearing the 6, but did you wear it as a 9?
Nah, I didn't have time, but I just put some strapping tape around my head when I was watching the game.
I must give Dylan a rap for that. That was some fucking shithousery, and it was so good. I was with Jason when he ran out, and I said, "Holy shit!" He strapped his head because he's going into the forwards. Shithousery, but it kind of shows where his head's at as well. It's a bit of a joke, but I did love it. I'm not going to lie, I loved it. Anyway, Jack, get on with it.
No, look, I don't think Dylan Walker will start at lock. I think that's a bad idea, especially against a big Canberra pack. I think he'll drop out. Whether Hopgood starts at lock and they bring Dury in to start at the middle, or they drop Sam Roney out, bring Dylan Brown in, I wouldn't be starting Walker. I think he's best when the forward pack's a bit tired. I think we lose value against a fresh side. And I think we need all the value we can get this week. I think it'll be a bit of a tough track. I do appreciate the shout out for the Shipagoti. I've got more positive than negative, so we're going to roll with it for a bit. We have to, because Parramatta ain't winning the next couple of weeks. But overall, I'm very interested to see how it all unfolds with full-time Joash 6 with Brown in the review.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that as well. I was just looking through the New South Wales Cup team, and there's actually a triple header down in Canberra for anyone going to Canberra. So there's actually the New South Wales Cup games on after first grade, which is going to be a really interesting one for Parramatta because if Dylan Brown sits there as an 18th man in first grade, can he drop back and play Cup, Jason? I know that you can do it vice versa. They can play Cup then be an 18th man for first grade. Do you know the rule on that?
Oh, that's a very good question. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like, they can do it definitely from
Reverse. Yeah.
Reggie's up to NRL. I'm not sure if you can go backwards.
Yeah.
How often do you see first grade on before Cup?
It's not. Yeah, it's pretty rare. It's very well. They got the women's on
It's
before.
probably because the women's game's on first, I think.
Yeah, it is. It's triple header, and it's obviously huge. And obviously, New South Wales Cup's covered by Bar TV, not covered by Fox Sports, as the others are. But cool. Any changes you make to the team, Taylor? Looking at that team list.
No, I accept it. I think Jason, you need to just accept that Dylan Brown has been named as 18. Nothing's going to change, I reckon. I reckon Jason Riley's pulled the pin. Got to get ready for next year. But I am very excited that Riley's back and we can finally have someone chasing, running onto the kicker again, putting pressure on them. And I'm also excited to see Iongi going up against Keo Weeks, I think his name is, the Raiders fullback. I think that's going to be a good competition there.
You laughed at Jack, but you realise he's probably going to be crying on his shoulders at Brisbane in a couple of weeks over the fact that Dylan isn't playing. Like, it hasn't hit him yet, but when he gets to the game and his boy Dill Brown sitting on the bench, he's going to be pretty upset. Like, he's going to be all JC. He might even be trying to find you. He'll be looking for someone. And
He might be
I
playing
will
New South Wales
be the
Cup
lost
by
kid
then.
at Woolies, walking around Suncorp, lost, looking for someone.
You'll be the lost key. Yeah, you just won't know what to do with yourself.
I'm getting an 18th man bib to wear.
He might be playing New South Wales Cup and not even go to Queensland.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, guess I'm not going to the game then. I'm going to New South Wales Cup.
He's not okay, guys. He's not okay. All right, let's Troy, did you have your say on the team list, mate? Anything you want to add?
Can we just leave it as it is, as it's been named, instead of all these changes that suddenly come in the day before or even the hour before the game? Just leave it as it is, and then
Got to
just
keep
see
the
how it
mind
goes.
games rolling, mate.
No, don't worry about mind games.
All about the mind games. Especially
named the
with Sticky
team.
Nicky, all
You named
about
the
the mind
team.
games.
Mate, we knew the team on Tuesday. We knew what was going to happen on Tuesday. We didn't say it. So, like, you just got to get more in the loop, mate, all right? Start getting your privileges, all right? Like everyone else.
Yeah.
Okay?
He'll be a bit
Okay.
cleaner behind the ears now with a fresh haircut.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, should have shaved his beard as well. Anyway, that's the team list. That's the next game. NRLW, I'll run through the NRLW team list as well. Like I said, they played before. Look, there's no changes to the starting team. The only change comes with Tess McWilliams actually named in the 16 there. Malia Murphy returns at 18. Rosie Mary Beckett, 19. Ruby Kennedy Ellis, 20. Yasmin Baker, 21. And Chelsea Makira at 22. So they've kept the same consistent team for a couple of weeks. Obviously, Malia Murphy's closer to coming back, and Kennedy Charrington as well, I think, is still a couple of weeks away. But, you know, it's a very winnable game for the girls. Obviously, Canberra took that touch up last week as well. So, like, if everyone's traveling down to Canberra, I'm not going to Canberra this week. I'm giving myself a little break. I was planning on going down, but 3 games of footy. It's going to be pretty exciting there to watch. And I think we'll get off to a good start and win that first game. NRL, I'm not going to touch on yet because I'll ruin my bold prediction, but New South Wales Cup's flying as well, so it'll be interesting how they go. Anyone going down? Troy, are you going to Canberra? No?
No, I don't think so.
Jason's
Might do. Why don't we do a live stream, Adam?
Why? Because I'm playing football at 3 o'clock.
Ah, yeah, fair enough.
Actually, 2 o'clock, so I might catch the end of the game. So, yeah, I won't be watching any of the games until I'm watching them on replay. It's going to be...
I've actually got the day off this time, mate. Anyway, I planned on going, but still take the day off anyway.
Yeah, fair. All right, let's get into our bold predictions. I believe we're up to. We are. Then we'll draw the winner raffle and we'll get into some final questions. So, bold predictions. Oh, yeah, the giveaway. Thanks, Jess. God, you're good. Look at you go. I'll share that to our story again tonight, guys. We are giving away an Indigenous pack. Includes Indigenous jersey, scarf, and the beanie. So jump on. It's pretty simple. Follow Talking Parra, like the post, tag a friend, and share the post. I think there's about 230 entries in it so far. We'll draw that. I think I said on Saturday morning. I can't remember. I make the rules list and I can't remember it, but it's not a very long competition. It's not going to run for that long, but awesome chance to get that jersey, which looks really nice in person. Let's get our bold predictions, and there's going to be some fucking hate in the comments when we start tipping Parramatta here because people have been starting already. So let's let Troy go first because he's a man that everyone loves, of course. No one's ever had a problem with Troy, not even anyone from Penrith. Go, Troy.
Never. Look, Canberra favourites, but I'll go Parramatta 20-18. I'll stick with Iongi as a first try scorer and a bold prediction, a 240-20s from Riley Smith.
Yep. Take it. Taylor, what are you going?
Score. Parramatta going to win. I think Raiders have been on a winning streak and they've got to lose eventually. So this is going to be the time where the underdogs we might actually win. I reckon it'll be a very close game. Probably low scoring, like 10-8, Parramatta's way. First try scorer, Zach Lomax, is going to have a blinder. And my bold prediction is we're going to win the triple. Women's game, cup, NRL.
And that was Adam's bold prediction.
I'll take that as a bold prediction. No, that's actually good. Someone's actually put some thought in their bold predictions for once. So, Jace, what do you got?
Yeah, look, I don't like it. We need to figure out how to attack without Lomax doing absolutely everything. But I don't think we win, but I'm a diehard loyalist, absolute blind, delusional. Parramatta to win 20-14. We're going to have Jack Williams on the edge score the first try. And my bold prediction is that Joe Ash is going to get a double.
Yep, loves it. Jack?
Alrighty. Again, not a big fan of this game, but the day I pick against Parramatta is the day that Adam boots me from this podcast. So I'm going to go...
Hayden does it all the time.
Yeah, but Hayden's a bit of a loser, can't handle his jerky, so...
Look what we did to Hayden. Fuck.
I'm going to go Parramatta 20-12. I don't think it'll be a very high-scoring game. I'm going to go with Simo as my first try scorer. And my bold prediction, Simo is going to have 200-plus running meters, 10 tackle breaks, a try, and a try assist.
Jez.
Yeah.
I'll message it. Simo loves to verse Canberra. He has his best games against them because they let him go. And he's going to rip into our boys. Exactly.
Yeah. No, actually, he was the best player in Darwin, eh? He was literally the best player.
I'm sorry, I'm about...
Sorry, just go again. I've got 200-plus meters, 10 tackle breaks, 1 try, 2 try assists. Is that correct?
1 try assist. We won't go too crazy. We'll just do a single try assist. Yeah, 1-on-1.
Okay.
Yeah. Good man, Jez. Love his work.
All right.
Such a professional.
I'm sorry to have to do this, and luckily Jack can't kick me off because I make the rules.
There's always a Hayden in the group, and it's always Adam if it's not Hayden.
I can't do it. I
want Queensland to win. I want a decider. I think Raiders win. With absolute respect, Adam.
There's no 5 of a kind here. Unfortunately, I can't agree with this. I can't see us winning this game.
Yeah!
Get on your producing, Jez. Well done.
Jez.
That's a great Jack.
Jez got ya, bro. Jez got ya.
As a great Jack Black would say, you can't kick me out of what's mine. Everyone got that movie quote. Thank you. All right. I have to do it, unfortunately. I don't think our attack's been good enough. I just don't think we're capitalizing our chances. We're getting in a position, we're turning up, we're having a crack, but I've got a bad feeling about this game. I haven't had a bad feeling about a game like this for quite a while. And I think it's going to be bad. It's going to be real bad. I'm only going to say we're going to lose 40 points to 8, but I feel it could be worse, unfortunately. My first try scorer, it won't be us, Hudson Young, first try scorer. My bold prediction is that Parramatta will have 2 players sin bin throughout the game. There you go.
Did anyone else see a bit of a lime green happen in this podcast? Is this like the green machine now, or
too much negativity?
Yeah.
Too much negativity.
That's such a miserable way to end the podcast. Jeez.
I know. I'm confident. It's the first time I think I've ever tipped against.
It's reverse psychology, guys.
Hang on a second.
Psychology.
You know, the last time I tipped against Parramatta, I had us to get beat by 40 by South Sydney back in the winter of 2023. And South Sydney were coming first and had won 8 games in a row. And we actually touched them up on Indigenous round, absolutely pumped them, and everyone remembers that game. So there's a chance it could happen again. Maybe it's reverse psychology. But no, it's not. I can't see us winning this game, unfortunately.
Hey, Adam, did the club call you up and tell you to tip against the Eels?
Yeah, they did.
Is that part of the script?
Yeah. It's part of the script. Just FYI, guys, just made that one up. If you didn't know what that was about, we copped a bit of shit in the comments the other day. So obviously Parramatta Leagues Club are lucky enough to take us into a box, part of our sponsorship, and people accusing the club of giving us stuff. And club gives us nothing. I just want to clarify that while we're here. The football club gives us nothing. Obviously, the Leagues Club helps us as a sponsor. That's why they're down in the bottom left-hand corner. It says the Parra Leagues, Talking Parra Tuesday Night Live show. So we copped a lot of shit in the comments. I don't let shit get to me. It doesn't get to me, but I don't want people to think we are actually getting benefits because it's far from true. I'll fucking take some. Like, if anyone from the club wants to give me stuff, like, fuck off. Can someone get me a limo to Canberra this week and hotel room and a corporate box or something? Like, if that's possible, just send me a message. But, it doesn't happen, unfortunately. Let's draw this prize, eh? Everyone want to draw this prize? So just remember, you've got 30 seconds to claim, not 31 seconds, not 32 seconds. It's a $50 voucher this week, thanks to Parramatta Leagues. We had, 29 people enter that shared the podcast. Oh, Andrew's still here. How good will this be?
I bet Andrew tipped Parramatta.
29.
Yeah, I bet you did too.
I hope his name doesn't come out, and it hasn't. Thank God. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. All right. The winner tonight, and has 30 seconds to claim from now, is Suzanne Smith. He got to a 119.30. So you're not in charge of the music, mate. It's got to be the islands in the stream. That is what we are.
Nowhere in between.
I have a suggestion.
Yeah.
You need to do a drum roll before you announce the winner. It's very just
I don't know what
boring.
to be honest.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
There you go. I gave you a trombone. That's the best I could do. Unfortunately, that did not go off to Suzanne. Susan had the privilege of meeting Troy on Sunday night as well. She was quick to comment on the post. Do you remember that, Troy?
Yeah, I do. I remember meeting her in the members' lounge at Parramatta Leagues Club.
That's after we
had a
ditched
little
him.
bit of a chat.
But get your final questions in. We'll do a few questions. Any questions you want to ask, quickly fire them away. Then we're going to get out of here because it's
I will
later.
say, Ryan has posted a couple of times, I will be at the Brizzy game. Whether I'll be at the Brizzy meet is very dependent on how nice my boss is feeling prior to, and will let me leave early.
Yeah, let's talk about that because I believe Parramatta Eels themselves, the members event's the next day. I believe it's a signing session. Yeah.
I'll be busy crying in the shower after we lose 60-0.
Yeah, well.
Is that your bold prediction? Is that your bold prediction? You're going out?
My bold prediction is on the Megatron. It's me and Taylor doing the dance as they all walk out.
With no Broncos fans left in the stadium.
We'll be cheering them out. That'll be our goodbye dance.
Oh, yeah.
Let's yeah, well, we knew it was announced a while ago, so it just got confirmed finally.
Did you see the videos from some of the St. George fans that were telling him, "We don't want you to go, bro"? And he's like, "I don't want to leave either." And
I know.
He got really emotional.
If they were true fans, they would have did a petition like Newcastle did.
They would have all chucked in $2 each.
Anyway, let's get back to Brisbane.
$10.
I think the club's seeing, and I haven't got confirmation of this, but the club was planning to do a signing session the day after. So I'll get confirmation of that because a couple of people have asked me. But I think we'll look at doing something before. I'm not heading up. I said 2-week break is I need to take that break. And I've obviously got footy commitments as well on the Saturday. So I know Jace is going up. Taylor, Jack will be there. So we might look at doing an event or something before with some drinks. Might put on some drinks for some Parramatta fans if they're keen. So, and obviously Jason will buy you drinks as well, Taylor and Jack. So you're welcome.
Thanks, Jason.
Oh, yeah, Uddies.
Uddies forever. It'll be like Oprah handing out Uddies. All right, there isn't much questions coming in. Really.
There was one that asked about how's Russell going to fit back in when Will comes back.
Well, I don't think Will was playing that well, to be honest. He wasn't exactly killing it, so it'd be interesting what happens. I think you make Will earn his way back through New South Wales Cup. Maddo, where is Maddo? Not named on injury list. Is he still with us? Yeah, I found it interesting he wasn't named on injuries because last time I was talking to him, he had a back injury, but I think he's pursuing a modelling career. I know that he's been spending a lot of time in his car listening to the Talking Parra podcast. So, Maddo, if you want to message us, well, you can't message me because you blocked me. Who is Jace? Are you blocked? Taylor, you're probably the only one that's not blocked, actually. So, Maddo, if you want to message Taylor, just message Taylor.
Adam,
What's the
there's some
story time?
controversy
How'd
in
you
the
get
comments
blocked?
about you, mate.
Oh, yeah. I think you've stuffed up there,
Oh,
Adam.
you made a boo-boo, mate. Her name's not Suzanne. I think we got to give it to her. That's a poor error on Adam's half.
Yeah, absolutely.
First he tips Canberra, and then he
Was it
stitches up a Parramatta fan.
Was it on the screen, Jez? Was it on the screen?
She didn't know. You said Susan. How was she meant to know?
Yeah.
Look, going to review.
Video ref. Video ref.
Just looking at the replay here over on my screen, you did pronounce the name wrong. It was Sue Ellen Smith who was the number. So we give it to her.
Yay!
All right. We'll do it.
Also, how good are those sweat patches? I just noticed. That's you guys talking about Dylan Brown got me worried. Holy shit.
You know what I find funny? If this was Andrew Backhouse, there's no way we're giving it to him.
I know, fuck
There's
that.
no way
Oh,
we're
God,
giving
no.
it to
No,
him.
absolutely not.
Let's be honest.
And
Sue
the surprising thing is Andrew's still here.
Ellen, or it's Sue Ellen, is it? Sue Ellen. What's
Sue
surely
Ellen?
Surely she goes by Sue as short.
There you go.
So-
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter,
Hey,
mate.
Sue Ellen, I'm sticking
Hop
up
on the
for you
chin,
here.
mate.
Yeah, Sue Ellen. Sue Ellen. We're going to give it to you on the premises that you had to put up with Troy on fucking Sunday night when everyone else ditched him, okay? So that's the only reason we're giving it to you. So, no, you can't contest your decision, Andrew. Fuck off. All right, let's, that'll do. That's all we've got time for. Message the page, Sue. Sue. Message the page, Sue. And we'll organise that for
Sue
you.
Ellen Smith.
Sue Ellen. Miss Smith. Cool. Good night. See you next Tuesday.
Go, Parra.